So what's your question?
Okay. So I have a small coffee business, specialty coffee business, family business. My mother is the fourth generation of coffee producers in here in Brazil, and we are now trying to take it to the next level. So my question is, how can AI tools help us with organizing the next steps in our projects, which are we want to increase the bees population in our coffee farm, and then we grow their population and then let them go and try and do this again and try and make this something that we can replicate in other parts, in other farms, and help the bees reestablish their population.
Okay. So the bee population and okay. All right. So there's a few different things here. So I always try to make this stuff as practical and tactical as possible. If I have to provide more context, I can. So I'll just go backwards here. For the hotel and stuff like that, have you used Midjourney at all for any design stuff?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you want to check out Midjourney. And
Okay.
if you need any help spelling or finding these things, just let us know. But Midjourney. So Midjourney is a generative AI tool for imagery. I think personally it's better than a lot of the other ones that are out there, like Stable Diffusion and things like that. It works through Discourse. So you have to go to Midjourney and sign up, and it's free, and it goes through Discourse. But you can pretty much go like totally wild with it and essentially be like, oh yeah, we want to build this hotel on top of this thing on a coffee plantation. But that's good. And actually the background that you see behind me came from Midjourney. So it's very, very capable of doing very realistic stuff. But the trick is, have you used ChatGPT at all?
Yes, ChatGPT. I use it daily, but
Okay.
not.
Good. So, and do you have the paid version?
No, the free version.
Okay, so I would highly recommend getting the paid version. It's $20 a month, because one of the things it gives you access to is plugins. And there is a plugin for ChatGPT 4 called Photorealistic. So with Photorealistic, in ChatGPT, you tell ChatGPT what you want the image to be, and then it writes the prompt, which you can then cut and paste and take over to Midjourney to get mind-blowing results. Now, in lieu of that, you can just try Midjourney and see what you come up with, but there is a lot of nuance to like getting an image like this behind us. You really need to know what to write, what to look for, because you can get very specific in terms of camera angles, resolutions, all sorts of things. So that would be the first thing I would say, to start looking at that. If you need to go further than that, then I would go to Fiverr. Are you familiar with Fiverr?
No. I'm really bad at this AI thing. I'm sorry.
No, this is great. So Fiverr's not AI, but this is good. I looked at better than me telling you something you already know. So Fiverr, which is Fiverr, is, in my opinion, the best outsourcing platform on the planet to find people to do all sorts of different things. Once you have a drawing from ChatGPT or from Midjourney, or a rendering rather, then you could go to Fiverr, and there are people who will draw actual architectural plans for you for pennies on the dollar compared to what you might pay otherwise. And if you have a rendering already, that makes things a lot easier. Like you could literally get a set of construction drawings for like $250 from somebody. So, and because I know that for some investor presentations, renderings are nice, but some people like to see a little bit more detail in terms of design, construction, and even materials. So that little stack, I think, would help you a lot with that. Now, for the bee population stuff, I think that if that's going to be a really big part of your story, and part of the story, which I think is a good one because it's certainly something that's needed, that needs to be really integrated into the branding of the whole everything, like the packaging, the story,
Yes, absolutely. I think I skipped a part about the naming of our brand. We call it Honey Coffee Company, and it's a bee.
Oh,
This little bit.
oh, I like that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
With the cowboy hat, or I guess the farmer hat.
Yes.
That's neat. Cool. Okay. Well, so yeah, I think that that's an important part of the story, and that you can actually use Mid-Journey again. So you can actually use that same stack to come up with some of the branding and the imagery that might go on the packaging, and then also might go in terms of some of your social media and your presentations. And then the last one for that is, in order to do a really cool investor deck, there's an application, or a web app called Tome app. So it's TOME app.ai. So Tome app. So with Tome app, you can then say, like, I need to do an investor presentation on this coffee brand, and we're going to be using bees. And then it'll create an entire slide deck for you from that.
That's awesome, because I've been doing that with ChatGPT, but I always have to ask him to ask me questions to formulate what I want. And sounds like this one is more specific for this.
It's more purpose built.
Okay.
So those would be some of my suggestions for places to start.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions.
I don't know if Chris wants to say something.
Sure. I'll tell you, all right, maybe this might put a little spin on this too, because one of the things that's interesting about Bruna's story is they're kind of reloading, and they're trying to, like, figure out how do you rebuild after you kind of sold. The roastery was a big part of their business. And so now they want to go direct to the US, but I think that they're still in the process of formulating the brand. So I think looking at ChatGPT, looking at all the AI as a storytelling system is probably a good step, and figuring out how do you make a winning pitch with great graphics and all that. That's, Bruna, maybe that would be my encapsulation of where you guys are. Was that fair?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I think we are trying to reestablish in Brazil, so we can go to the US prepared, and with already with a investor who understands the project. So this is why these tools will be very important for us to show what we are trying to imagine, because it's really clear for us, but sometimes I have some difficulties in explaining people what I want, what is in my head. So
I'm glad you said that, because I have another suggestion too. So not to interrupt, but so another thing that you should take a look at too is there's two tools. One is called Synthesia, and the other one is called 11 Labs. And so Synthesia makes AI avatars and, like, talking heads and spokespeople. So, and they're fairly realistic, and you can actually make one that looks like you. But then with 11 Labs, you could actually take your voice, your actual voice, and then have you speak in other languages.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So if you want to make different, it's like if you're dealing with, Portuguese and English, for example, obviously, like that might be something to consider as well.
That's nice. Thank you, Ari, very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.